Good evening. Let us begin with the headline, "The market did not care," and we are all here to discuss why that is statistically hilarious. Tonight, the anchor desk is reporting a silence so profound it has achieved legendary status. Donald Trump has not posted in 3 hours and 24 minutes. In the archive of interpost gaps stretching back to 2022, this lull sits at the 90.6th percentile of quietude. We have reached a state of digital abstinence where even the silence feels like a policy statement. But before we dissect that vacuum, let us read the registry seal aloud like a hostage, proving the date 9149 Alpha Delta 96 Foxtrot 0 Delta Bravo. Now look at the tape. We opened with DJT plunging down 3.19%, a drop that included an overnight gap of down 2.2% against the prior close, landing at the 93rd percentile of its historical sleep deficits. It is staggering to act stunned every single night that the market did not care about the noise, but reacted violently to the absence of it. Yet, as the day wore on, the narrative tried to find a pulse. The first burst, 3 posts over 38 minutes, saw VIXY drop down 1.59%, suggesting perhaps that fear was selling off into the void. But then came the second burst, 10 posts in 33 minutes, a flurry of activity! And what did TSN do? It rose up 0.76% on the day, but during that specific chaotic window it jumped up 1.06%, finishing at the 89th percentile for the stock and a 92nd percentile for the move. The market rewarded the motion, not the message. And finally, the third burst, 3 more posts over 34 minutes, saw DJT rise up 0.53% by the close, sitting at a perfectly mediocre 48th percentile. It climbed back up, not because it loved the content, but because the sellers had exhausted their enthusiasm for the open. Our two colleagues, who are both wrong, attempted to frame this. The left pundit claimed Trump is cozying up to a communist opponent he just smeared, accusing him of having no spine, only a feed. He followed up by calling the anchor's data a desperate cheerleading squad for fascism. The right pundit countered that he didn't need a percentile because he had a gut and predicted Tim Burchett would crush it tonight. They are both missing the point entirely. The point is that TSN rose up 0.76% while Trump was offline, proving that corporate earnings matter more than presidential tantrums. I promise a correction segment with the enthusiasm of a man who has one ready, though today's data was too consistent to correct. Let us turn briefly to our audience business. Last week's poll of the week asked, "1. The tape jumps and the feed is silent. What are you looking at?" The results were decisive in their indifference. 0 votes for a market with a life of its own. 1 vote for nothing. You only think the feed drives the tape because we keep measuring it. And 2 votes for a post that just has not been typed yet. Give it an hour. We have 3 votes total. It is a tie between nihilism and patience. This week we pose this question to you. When a post lands and the market does not move, what does that tell you? Please vote on the site. Your options are: the market already knew. Nobody was listening, too early to say, wait for the close, or nothing. 1 post is 1 post. The top topics tonight were defense, war, election, economy, energy policy, and border security. But the real story is the 90.6th percentile of silence. We spent the day analyzing a vacuum that refused to pull us in. The market is fine. I am the one who is not fine. Good night. The left sees vanity dumping DJT, while right claims a victory lap for endorsements. Let's see what the booth makes of this swing.
The market gags on this swamp-adjacent endorsement parade and dumps DJT, proving my point that voters recognize political vanity when they see it. Meanwhile, Dale Bookhorn looks like a fool for ever thinking I'd give him the satisfaction of a reaction.
The anchor whines about DJT's dip while I watch the real victory lap unfold. Endorsements so potent they make the spreadsheets weep. Margot Kessler's null hypothesis can't quantify the sheer, unadulterated winning of a president who turns fake news into victory lap banners.
Left predicted a dump, right called a win. The market actually delivered a down 3.19% plunge, landing in the 74th percentile.